Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to call the meeting to order. Thank you. If anybody has any disclosures of pecuniary interest, please declare so at the appropriate time. We're going to move into the information reports. And these are to receive. Mover and seconder for the Long-Term Care Division Information Report. To put it on the floor, please. Councillor Loosely, Councillor Miller. Discussion? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Number 5, Corporate Service Divisions, same thing, information reports. To bring to the floor, please. Councillor Atkinson, Councillor Cook. Discussion? All in favor? Carried, thank you. The next two will be dealt with separately, and they do require motions. Mover and a second to bring forward the Bill 177. Ward Marriott, Councillor Miller. Discussion, please. All in favor? Carried, thank you. The Source Protection Committee report, to bring this forward, please. Councillor Atkinson, Councillor Cook. Discussion, please. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Moving to the Finance, Facilities, and Court Service Division. It'll be 2 parts. Part A is information. Mover and seconder to bring this to the floor, please. Councillor Dennis, Councillor Atkinson. Discussion. Councillor Atkinson, you have the floor. Or sorry, Councillor Dennis, sorry, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. I have a question. On the core statistics report on page 43, we see a 227 100% increase in 2022 over 2021 in charges by Act labeled as provincial other. Given these charges have more than doubled over the prior year, I would like to know what types of charges are included in this other category. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Who do we have to answer that today? Larkio, please.
Through the word, I don't have the specifics on that other category. However, I can tell you as far as the increases in charges, we have seen some increases in charge activity. However, the revenues associated with that haven't come to fruition as a result of a lot of the delays in the court proceedings. So the important aspect to realize, yeah, there has been some increases in charges, but not, we haven't recognized the revenue for a whole variety of reasons.
Thank you. Any more questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Report B, and this will require a motion. Mover and a second brings to the floor, please. Councillor Miller, Councillor McRoberts. Discussion, please. Councillor Cook.
Thank you, Chair. Just a comment, and I guess I see that one of the largest reserves that we have is actually our Contingency and Opportunities Fund, which I guess we don't add to on a regular basis, but I guess I would like to make a recommendation to the manager that if we are looking at purchasing the downtown center, that if part of the opportunity contingency fund could be used in that regard as far as funding purposes for that. I know it's a good acquisition that I think we should be looking at, and we haven't been using this fund for a few years to take anything significant out of to make it work. And I think it'd be a good opportunity to use some of the monies in that reserve for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or remarks? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Any other business? Hearing none, moving to the Social Services Division. in the beginning, 2 or 3 parts. So part A, an email from Sherry Hayward, Can I have a mover and a second bring to the floor, please? Councilor McRoberts, Councilor Miller, discussion? All in favor? Carried, thank you. We'll move the next ones through in one motion, but if you wish to pull an item out, please declare so at the appropriate time. Information reports, mover and a seconder for these. Councilor Cook, Councilor Atkinson. Anybody wish to pull out any individual item out? All in favor? Thank you, carried. Councilor Cook, did I miss you there?
Yes, just one question regarding the arrears. What is the, I guess, the resolve to correct the arrears? How do we go about collecting the arrears, and are they being forced out by landlords? I guess would that be the next step that would happen?
Through you to Councillor Cook. Staff are working very closely with our tenants to collect those arrears. Some of them are because clients have moved to market rent, or tenants have moved into market rent, so they are paying a little bit more. So we're working closely to recoup those, and we hope that we'll see that number come down.
And a second question regarding the nonprofit housing providers. I note that there are several in your report that have their mortgages have been paid off, and that they're potentially have their buildings for their own purposes now. What's the arrangement to get those continue on with nonprofit housing?
I'm actually going to call upon our acting manager of housing services, Melissa Johnson, to respond to that piece. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So at this time, we have 3 former federal providers and 2 provincial providers that are at end of mortgage or end of operating agreement this year. So we have started conversations with all of those providers. At this time, we have confirmation from 3 of them, 1 federal, 2 provincial, that they would like to stay with us and enter into a service agreement. We have 1 federal provider that has indicated they would like to exit, and I have a conversation with the board scheduled for our other federal provider next week to see what they would like to do.
So, thank you. So I guess the one of the boards I actually sit on, one of the boards that's up for, that has their mortgage paid off. And I don't know, are you speaking directly with the whole board or just with managers, or who are you speaking with?
So at this time with the provincial providers, the conversations have been with the property manager, who has indicated that they've had conversations with the board. We are currently in the progress of getting some financial planning tools that need to be done. So once we have those ready, I will be meeting with the boards to talk about the required 5-year financial plan and kind of see what the outlook looks in terms of financials and market rents and targets for RGI. So those detailed conversations with the boards will be happening probably over the next 6 months or so.
Good, thank you. Moving to C, the Child Care Expansion Plan Report. Can I have a mover and second to bring this to the floor, please? Councillor Dennis, Councillor McRoberts. Discussion, please. All in favor? Or sorry, sorry, I'm going to go back. Mr. Cook, please. Councillor Cook.
Sorry, a lot of questions here. How long is the funding guaranteed for? Do we know how long the funding would be for? And I guess what would happen after the 18 months? Does the person stay on part-time, or where do they go?
Sure. Through you, Chair Ferguson, to Councillor Cook. The funding is at this time guaranteed to go on as we implement the Canada-wide early learning program. So we're going to be using administration funding, and after the 18 months, the position would end. It'll be a temporary position. We anticipate that building will start then, and we'll work with procurement, and most of the expansion plans will be finished. So it's really just to get us through that planning period.
Thank you. Any further questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Any other business? Seeing and hearing none, move on. There is no in camera. We do move to adjourn. A motion to adjourn, please. Councillor Atkinson, all in favor? Carried, thank you.